note of something. We are going to have a simple sketch of this graph, and we have to note that we have an asymptote, which is a 4. Okay, then we have a shift, which is what? Which is 1 to the right. So if you want to domains and the range, okay, we are referring to the domains and the range here. So let's have this at say minus 3 to just 3, a small range. Then a step for such will just be 1, and we have our values. So I'm just gonna stick to whole numbers like 1527 and 313, just to make it easy for us to know exactly what we are sketching for. So our graph will look like this, and let's have here, and let's have our asymptote. Okay, I think I needed this one so that we can see it. Let's have our asymptote. Then obviously we have the y values and the x values, and we have the origin here. So our asymptote is at y is equals to 4, even though we know that this is a small part of it, but for the sake of sketching, let's just assume that we have a 4 here. Okay, it's a sketch. Then we want to know the y, oh sorry, for y inter, what is the value of x and vice versa. So the value of x for y inter is 0, so we are going to set the values there. So what we are going to get is 13 all over 3, which is 4.3. So the value here is just going to be just after the asymptote, which is how we know it, 4.3 somewhere there. Then we can have our sketch. As I said, the importance here is to improve accuracy. So 1, which is we have maybe 1 somewhere here. Then we have to go to 5, because 1 is a coordinate of 5, 2 is a coordinate of 7. So okay, let's have a 5 here and a 7 here. It's just a sketch, guys. I'm always gonna remind you, please don't try to be accurate with this. Just have to sketch. Then we have 1 5 and we have 2 7. So ideally we are going to have something like this. Okay, so let me just shift our 1 to be there. Then we have our 7 somewhere there. So this is a sketch of what? Of the original. For the inverse, how did we get to the inverse? Sitholile inverse, because we have a transformation where the domain are now the range and the range are the domains. Now, what does that mean? This means that we have this situation. This graph is passing at what here? At 4.3. So it must pass at 4.3 on the other graph. Okay, on the other side. So we are going to have a sketch here, and we are going to say the graph must, the asymptote is 4. So we are going to have our asymptote here as the asymptote on the x values, and the asymptotes are 4. So x is equals to 4. They are interchanging, right? The behavior of the x values becomes the behaviors of the y values whenever we have such. Then the intercept is at 4.3, so the intercept is at 4.3. It's a copy and paste, but in an opposite way. Then we have few points that we have to think of. We have xy here, which is important. The points that you have to think of is 1 5. This is a coordinate which will now be what? 5 1. And we have another coordinate which is 2 7, which will turn into what? A 7 2, right? So 1 5, we have a coordinate there. then 2, 7 turns into 7, 2. So here we have a 5, then we have a 7, then we have a 2 here. Then we can just sketch. Okay, that's how our sketch will probably look like.